you're about to hit $4 million month. I want to understand the $4 million month. I want to understand the seasonality. I want to understand the memberships and like how you're managing an HVAC business at scale.
Retention rates of field pros. I think that's where the magic is. The thing that we've been super focused on the last 2 years is career progression for our field pros. Is like, how can we take them from no experience, a level 1, and how can we objectively make them into a level 5?
Welcome back to Owned and Operated. Today I have my friend Brian from TR Miller on. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the tour.
Yeah, no, this is good. I mean, you were just on over Zoom, but you were just on 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago?
It might have been 6 months at this point. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But you know what we get to do?
You invited me back, though.
I did invite you back. You're about to hit $4 million month.
Yeah, we are.
That's pretty legendary.
Appreciate that, yeah.
And that's what we're going to dive into today. I want to understand selfishly, like you're running an HVAC business at scale. I want to understand the $4 million month. I want to understand the seasonality. I want to understand the memberships and like how you're managing an HVAC business at scale.
Yeah. Well, we started off as HVAC, so that's where we kind of cut our teeth. So up into 2020, that's really all we knew before we added like plumbing, sewer, and electrical now.
So it was 2020 that you added plumbing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big's plumbing now?
Plumbing will probably, I would say month over month is about probably $1 million month over month between our plumbing, service, install, and like our sewer teams.
It does $1 million a month, or it does?
Yeah. It does about $1 million a month.
So that's a $10 million business, $12 million business.
Yeah, we've been super lucky. I mean, part of HVAC, the hardest part is like, how can you diversify your revenue?
Yes.
Like, especially, I mean, in HVAC, we still face it to this day. We'll kind of jump into the $4 million month, but like, our month over month, like if in January, February, March, our budgets were $2 million a month.
Yeah.
Because HVAC is so dominant.
Yeah. And half of that being plumbing. So HVAC really just tanks off.
It does. Especially if, we always struggle February and March, just the seasonality. And so the biggest challenge for us is how can you retain technicians the best to your ability during February and March?
We struggled a lot with that this year.
Yeah, it's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like
everyone gets real squirrely because like calls aren't there. It's a lot of maintenances.
Yeah. Because they'll run like, and so some of the things we've thought about over the years is, like what's our minimum hours per technician, minimum calls, and then where can we flex up to? And so because really the trick to HVAC is being able, the flexibility or the bandwidth is like, how can I create maximum bandwidth during peak, we're in a peak week right now, it's the end of June, and how can you peak from, let's say on average running 40, 50 calls per day with a service unit up to 120 calls per day.
Yeah.
And just having that flexibility and that bandwidth is important for the HVAC side.
Field Pulse is the all-in-one field management solution for growing home service companies. Field Pulse is designed to simplify your day-to-day operations by combining everything you need into one platform. It also includes integrations to help you save time, like QuickBooks Desktop and online. It has a bunch of advanced tools and features like a CRM, estimates and invoicing, good, better, best options, maintenance plans, a robust price book, and scheduling and dispatching. Field Pulse will transform the way that you manage your field teams. Altogether, it will save you time and find revenue that you didn't even know existed. Whether you're a small company that's looking to grow or a larger company looking to optimize, Field Pulse has the tools that you need to do it. And don't just take our words for it. Field Pulse has earned over 580 glowing reviews with an average rating of 4.8 stars. That's Field, P-U-L-S-E. Head to their website to learn more, fieldpulse.com.
This was a lesson I got a good taste for. I visited Jimmy at Baker, and I am good friends with RJ from Sierra in Vegas. And they really, and you guys might be doing this too, but they were... their install teams were so flexible they could go from 1 install a day to 3 full systems a day. And I think it was the same thing. Like, how do you sort of manage that low time and be able to triple your output during peak?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say like, in February, March, we were probably running on like 5 or 6 install trucks. And now we're at 10 install trucks, a few months later. Some of it is hiring. Like we do a lot of our hiring practices in like the February, March, April. you know, if someone, you know, unfortunately decides to leave the team in like December, we might wait until like, you know, let's find a new team member, but let's start for like April 1st.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the strategy. And some of it too is field supervisors. We still haven't solved this, but I think we're further today than we were a couple years ago is what is the role of a field supervisor? And so I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but how we've kind of thought about it is, you know, during the slow time, that's when it's the time to work on the business. You know, that's the one-on-ones, that's, you know, documenting processes. What's our, you know, our refrigeration process? What's our heat exchanger process? That's the time is when it's slow.
Yeah.
But when it's peak, hey, it's time to go get back in the truck. And so a lot of our field supervisors have stepped up, especially in this heat wave. And, you know, hey, let's go do an install for the day. You know, that's another truck on the road, or let's go run more service calls. So we've pushed, and our field supervisors have elected to go, and because, you know, so many customers, you know, don't have cooling right now. And so how can we increase our bandwidth there too has been part of our strategy.
Yeah. Are your install crews running several systems a day?
The way we think about it, yeah, the answer is yeah. So an HVAC install crew might do an HVAC, so furnace, air conditioner, typically getting done between 4 and 5.
Like PM or hours?
I'm sorry, 4 or 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yep. And then they'll do like an air conditioner after.
Yeah. Yeah. So like system and a half.
Yeah, like a
That's
system and a
where we're
half.
at right now is system and a half.
Yep.
It seems like it's a big transition to 2.
It is.
Yeah, just like hard.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more. Like people start running like QAs, or they start. What Sierra was doing was, I think it was $500 or $1,000. It was something, but for every additional system you installed after the first, you get an extra. Let's just say $500
Yeah.
per each, like helper and lead.
Totally.
So then, you know, their installers during peak season, putting 3 systems in a day, are making like $4,000 a day.
That's crazy.
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
And
like, are you hiring?
Yeah, because I mean, the byproduct is where we're at today is like we have a week's worth of backlog.
Yes.
And the real issue at hand is that's awesome. Sales team's pumped. They're selling jobs, shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
And then boom, customer calls and cancels.
Yes.
They found someone that could do it sooner.
Yep.
And so that's like in these peak months is like, how can I prevent my cancellation rates from like spiking, or how can we still do these installs we're selling?
Yeah.
You know, that's the challenge right now.
Yeah.
It's a good challenge to have.
No,
you know, with that being
it totally is. I think it's just funny that, you know, you talk to like Baker Brothers was interesting. They're $106 million or something, and they only had like 12 install crews. It's just that their install crews do 2 to 3 times more than ours do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So how are you doing this for service? Like, how are you going from 40 to 100?
Yeah. Well, I think something that we've been really intentional about lately is our memberships. I think that's kind of like our foundation. It's our base work. It's where we're really our big hairy goal over the next 10 years is really focused around memberships, and really that's important. And now dived into the question is like the biggest challenge with heating and cooling is seasonality, and actually it's probably a big challenge in a lot of industries. Is like, all right,
I have a friend that runs a $30 million power washing business.
Yeah.
And they have to hire, I think it's 500 people between April 1st and May 1st.
It's a real thing.
So I'm like, all right, you guys have it worse. Like that sounds insane.
Yeah, that it's hard. Interesting. My friend has a power wash business too. They got into Christmas lights.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's into now. Yeah. And they're crushing it. Like, they're crushing it. So we start with our memberships, and it's really how can we create work year round for our team members. That's the thing is we need to make sure we have enough work during the off months, so that we can make sure we do a good job in the peak months. And so we try to make sure that we schedule those maintenance calls February, March, April. Try to at least get 2 to 3 per team member, and at least keep them busy, you know, get them some type of security, 30, 40 hours per week. And then what we ask on, I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability, is we have 4 shifts, so we don't do on call. So we have a Monday through Friday, what we call an AM shift, so that's 8 to 5. We have a PM shift, that's like 11 to 8. And then we have a Sunday to Wednesday shift and a Wednesday to Saturday shift. And so right now, our service leader, Aaron, has done a really great job of is, all right, guys, if you're a 5 working day shift, how can we, you know, during the month of June, we need you to work an extra day. We need you to work that 6th day, which increases bandwidth. Or if they're, scheduled from 8 to 5, it's, hey, it's going to be an 8 to 8 kind of week. We need you in at 8 a.m. and then, ending around 8 p.m. Or lastly, if they're a Wednesday to Saturday or Sunday to Wednesday, it's, hey, we need you to work an extra day or two, which has been really huge, increasing bandwidth. Because we still have a responsibility to run those calls accurately. Like, we grew up at a time back in 2015 where it's like, hey, I need each technician to run 12 calls. Like, we have a ton of calls. I need each team member to run 12 calls. And when I was a service leader, what I always found was, well, when you run that many calls and you're in and out and you're turning and burning, these calls within an hour or half an hour is, I go to a customer's house and I say, hey, I don't do a thorough inspection. I replace the capacitor. And what happens is the next day the customer calls and says, hey, the technician that was there yesterday didn't know what he was doing. And my system's not working again.
Yeah.
And so really we still want to preach, like, even these tough times, or not tough times, but these busy times, is like, we still need to do thorough inspections.
Yeah.
We still need you to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours on each call and do a thorough inspection, because we can't have callbacks either, because that's bad for brand reputation as well and customer service. So that's the kind of how we thought about increasing our bandwidths.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do they run more calls during peak? Like, it goes from 2 to 3 to 6 or 8 or
You nailed it.
5. Okay.
Yeah. So we try to, like, I would say our goal every day is to try to run 4 calls per technician per day.
Yeah.
4 opportunity calls, and maybe a recall or a warranty if they come in. That's like our target. However, during these peak times, it will be 6 to 7 opportunities per day.
Yeah.
Longer days, more days in the week. But we do try to pace like 6 to 7 opportunities.
Yeah. Are you guys running a selling tech model or a CA model, or like, how are you actually selling equipment?
Yeah, this is something. I think this is something that changes for the whole industry over the next few years.
Yeah.
I would say we're a hybrid. So we do have comfort advisors. They run marketing leads, and they also run what we call tech-generated leads. So technicians in the home, and they flip it over to the comfort advisor. Still, a lot of our sales model is in the home. We do have 1 selling tech, or 2 selling techs, I apologize. And I don't know. I think you have to do what works best for you. I don't think you should be pigeonholed to, like, this group says we should only run, selling techs.
Yeah.
Or this group says we should only do comfort advisors. I think at the end of the day is, like, be resourceful as a business owner, and, like, what makes sense for your business, and what's going to, how can you maximize the opportunities is what's important.
Yeah.
Not every tech's meant to be a selling tech, and not every comfort advisor is meant to be a comfort advisor.
Yeah.
I think it will be interesting where it goes with technology. There's a lot of things like call by call out there.
Yep.
I think right now the industry's trying to find its way. We have some early leaders on it. But what we currently do is comfort advisors and selling techs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when it gets hot like this, is we might not be able to get a comfort advisor there for a day or two. And it's like, we have techs in the home.
Point.
Yeah, like we have techs in the home. Like,
yeah.
So we do green light some technicians to sell in the home during peak seasons and some year round.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, we've pivoted our model, just sort of following the lead of others. And that was a big part of it, is if I was a buyer, why would I barely have time to meet you in the first place, let alone meet you a second time. So, how I think about it, and maybe, like, this is rude, but I took an hour out of my day to be here with you today. So if you need to come back for a second appointment, you'll be meeting with my assistant, which, like, that's a closed sales window for whoever that is. And I would imagine a lot of our customers are more like that. Like, they're busy professionals that are, living their life. So I think being able to one call close is important.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's where I think where we're at is I think what's best for a company from a data standpoint is, like, we just know we have higher conversions if we're in the home with the comfort advisor. And, like, a pain point we had with some of our techs that were selling techs before we went to the comfort advisor model is, like, they would sometimes sell stuff that
It's
like
out of their own pocket.
yeah, it couldn't go like we literally can't install this high efficient furnace
Oh, sure.
because you just can't do it because it's all finished drywalled ceilings.
Yeah.
And so they were selling stuff that the customer either didn't need or we couldn't install.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the Comfort Advisor model makes sense, is we just know we have higher conversions, at least for us, with the Comfort Advisor, and we're selling the right stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we really have to take a step back in the future and look as like, what also makes sense for the customer? Like the customer doesn't want a second person. They barely want a first person, like back to your point.
2 is tough.
Yeah.
Well, and from a company like, well, now I have to build rapport 2 times when like the technician already did it. Like, why am I rebuilding rapport? Like, we're good to go. What we found with Comfort Advisors is the job was already sold before the CA walked in the door. Like the tech already built rapport, sort of started preloading options of that customer's mind. The CA walked in and signed paperwork, and then they got a big check for doing it. And and the tech got less, which like that doesn't make sense. He did most of the work. So we just sort of like reset that. So then the tech gets most of the economics because they're the one doing most of the work, which I think has been a win. And then one less appointment. But what has been interesting, and you compete with them. So this will be interesting to see. But like, Four Seasons, I always bring up a few examples when talking about this, but like some of the biggest pure HVAC companies, or like just HVAC in general, in our industry run a split sales model where we have selling techs do this, we have CAs do this. And that's where we wanted to end up. But Four Seasons is a great example. I've heard forever. I haven't seen it personally, but hey, the CAs just run marketed leads. They have a different price book even. Like it's a totally different structure than the tech flip leads. Is that how that works in practice?
Yeah. One is I think Four Seasons, Dave over there is the owner, and I think he's brilliant, and he has a lot of brilliant people on his team. I mean, they're probably the largest up until most recently. I mean, they still are single location in the U.S.
Yeah, they are.
Like honestly, so what they've been able to do.
I think Parker maybe, but like
they're probably chasing.
Yeah.
But Four
Seasons 250 in one building.
One building.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they got a car wash in it. It's
crazy.
great, man. And so I think they've done a really good job of like, I think that you need scalability too.
Yeah.
Is like, if you only have 4 Comfort Advisors, it might not make sense to have like multiple price books.
Yeah.
But they probably have a Comfort Advisor team of like 20 to 30, or if not more, maybe 50, who knows? Where it's like, all right, this group of 15, these are going to be our box store Comfort Advisors. These are the ones that are going to run Costco leads.
Yep.
And we're going to be hyper competitive with these leads.
Yeah.
And then they might have another 15 Comfort Advisors that are designed for just customers that are calling in because they want, they're getting a few estimates out there.
Yeah.
And then the last 15 might be the technician was in the home and now they need the equipment.
Yeah.
And so
and that's the highest price point.
And that's the highest price point.
Bingo. It's already converted.
Yeah. And so they've done a really good job. And they're tough, man. They are incredibly tough. They're competitive.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think a lot of PE models go to we're going to charge more.
Yeah.
But these guys, man, they are a competitor. I mean, they are.
We're up against Heartland. That's like that.
Oh yeah.
Where so on one hand, I have Apex just north of me. They have an Apex shop.
Okay.
And like their average ticket is very literally twice my average ticket. So like
which is great.
We love competing against them. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what's embarrassing is sometimes they still beat us.
Oh no.
Like we had we interviewed one of their salespeople the other day, and he walked in and he's like, "Hey, I followed you guys on this sale yesterday. And I sold it for $5,000 more than you quoted." And we're like, "Oh my god."
Do you want a job?
We did offer. We did offer.
We've been working with WeSupplyTrades.com for the past 10 years, but most importantly for the past 6 months as our primary vendor for HVAC supplies. And that's going to be generic as well as some OEM. They have been a huge partner for us in our HVAC for restocking trucks, for getting packouts done on time, and getting quick deliveries when we need it. Their free pro membership is going to give better pricing. It's free shipping for orders over $99, and you get access to a team of world-class experts that know plumbing, hydronics, and HVAC like the back of their hands. Like, these guys are incredible. As a savings to our audience, they offered 20% off your first order if you use the code OWNED20 OWNED20. So click the link below or go to wesupplytrades.com/owned and operated to find out a little bit more.
But on the other, like we have Heartland, and Heartland does that thing. I know they do it in Chicago too, but they have like 10 brands in one city, and they get competitive. I mean, they will throw down on pricing. They're slugging in like, systems for like $6,000 if they have nothing going on.
And they have a good price. I think it comes down to your pricing model.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've never really popped the hood and really like, tuned Four Seasons, but I'm sure they have, this is just an assumption.
Yeah.
But I think, when during slower months, they're a lot more competitive even on their highest points. On the peak months, they're really maximizing. But at the end of the year is what matters, right? Like, how do our margins look at the end of the year or a trailing 12?
Yeah.
And they've done just a really good job. It's tough. They're a competitor in the home. They're good. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. So it sounds like the deconstructing this $4 million month.
Yep.
One, you have a stable revenue in plumbing, $1 million a month.
Yep.
So like, I think that helps a lot.
Big time.
Yeah, big time. I have friends down in DFW, and I see their like Service Titan charts. Wild. Like HVAC only, right? And it's like, we'll do like $10,000 or, that's exact, maybe 100. We'll do $100,000 and then we'll do $2 million. And like, it's that much of a swing. So plumbing gives you a nice stable, is electric in there too?
Electric's new. So we just launched electrical this year.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that's starting. I think we have 3 or 4 team members now over there. So that's really starting to project in the right direction.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but.
So $1 million of stability.
Yep.
Managing capacity and like being thoughtful about extra days, and mainly retaining capacity. It sounds like during slow season, like how do we make sure we really do a good job there?
I think that two things that I thought of as you were looping the information back is one thing that I think has really helped us maximize capacity these last couple of years in these peak time is like dispatch software.
Yes.
Like making sure that we used to have dispatchers that would, right tech, right call, and but now we use just software to automate that whole process of like what should the next call be.
Yep.
I think has really helped our bandwidth.
Yes.
Because
that's been a win for us too.
Yeah, that's been huge. That's when I would say it pays for itself.
Yeah.
Like 6 months of the year when it's slower, you could build an argument. The other 6 months is when it really pays for itself.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we've been super focused on that I want to make sure maybe to highlight is retention rates of field pros.
Yes.
Is I think that's where the magic is not only how can I peak up, like if you have all, like we, right now our HVAC service team that for service calls is 25 service technicians on HVAC.
Yeah.
But if I have to hire 25 new HVAC service techs every year, like our performance at a conversion rate, at a customer quality, options, like all that's going to be in the tank.
Yeah.
And so it's not only how can I flex up, but like really what we've been
keep. Yeah.
How can we retain these 25 team members?
How are you thinking about that?
Yeah.
That's a gap for us. Like our turnover in HVAC service is a consistent challenge.
It is because of the seasonality. It's the damn
tough.
seasonality.
Yes. And it's a lot of guys like leaving industry or like, I want to go to say it. It's like different and it's tough.
That is the hardest. And so some things we've done around it is really creating career. Like I would not say that we have it nailed, but the thing that we've been super focused on the last 2 years is career progression for our field pros. Is like as if someone joins us today is, and they might come from a local trade school or a local community college, is how can we take them from no experience, a level 1, and how can we not subjectively but objectively make them into a level 5?
Yeah.
And we fell into a trap. I wouldn't say a trap, but like one of the challenges 2 years ago was because we're, when people join us, like our purpose is to expect more.
Yeah.
And we're a growth organization. And so we were always thinking like, hey, the next step is being a leader. Like that's important. We need leaders. And so that's also a focus. But we've taken a step back and said, not every technician needs to become a leader and not every technician needs to become a level 5.
Yeah.
It's your journey and it's just our job to like shepherd that journey to wherever they want to be. And so that's something we've been focused on. Our leaders, they made like literally booklets that says like, once you install, 10 humidifiers, you're competent, you get a stamp. But really taking an objective approach into like, how can we develop our team members? Because, if a team member wants to make $1 more, I think it's our job as leaders to show them how to make $1 more, but just not give them $1 more. Like Otherwise, everyone's gonna just think, hey, you know what? I woke up today, I want $1 more.
Yeah.
But it's our job to say, hey, if you want that, you want to make more money, here's a path to make more money, and kind of guide them.
Yeah, it's been a big focus for us too. What we're trying to, one, the retention side. So this was helpful. What we're trying to nail down is, how many people do you have on the team?
For HVAC or just the total company?
Whole company.
I think we're around. Well, this might be a story for a different day. So we're at about 145, and we're in the middle of adding 2 new partner groups to our team. One will add 4 team members, which is Tuesday, and then another 10 team members August 1st. So we'll probably be around 160 here in the next month.
Yeah, it's one of the benefits of HVAC. But so we're 160, but obviously like plumbing is like a big part of it. But what we're finding is like 160 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And people get kind of lost in there, and or they feel lost in there. And what has been hard is like pointing out like where you can grow. So like, where can you start? Where can you grow?
Yep.
And we've been really blessed because of nearly all of our leaders so far have been promoted into leadership, and that's like from the director level to the frontline leader level. Like, they have been promoted up to there, which is really cool.
Yep.
But we had someone almost quit 2 weeks ago, and this is something we've been working on for like a year of like career laddering and progression. How do we map it? How do we show it? How do we help people on their journey? And it was a good wake up call to the team of like, hey, this needs to be front burnered like really quickly, because we had someone almost leave, and they're like, well, I just got this opportunity over at this other place. It's like what I want. They wanted an inside sales position, and it's like we have that.
Yeah.
Like, we have that. We have 4. We'd love a 5th. Like, why don't we just talk about that? Like, how did we lose the fact that like you can progress your career here just inside a slightly different team than what you're used to?
Yeah.
So that's something we're trying to nail down. It's like, where can you grow vertically? Where can you grow horizontally? And like, what are all the opportunities inside a team that's 160 people?
How have you thought about bridging that gap of like lateral movements? Because sometimes people think like it's always up and up and up, but sometimes people want to just move laterally from maybe a service tech to an inside sales. Have you thought, I mean, it's been a week, it sounds like, have you thought about like how to help bridge that gap?
Well,
that's a challenge for us too.
Yeah, I think it's how we map it. So I wish I could put the picture up, but what we did is we created a map that shows it. So like, here's where you start. So you can start as a coordinator, and like, I think some of this is titling strategy.
Yeah.
So like, what's a supervisor, what's a coordinator, what's a manager, what's a director, what's a senior manager. So like, nail that down. But where can you start? So you can start as a coordinator, you can start as an apprentice, you start as an individual contributor. So those 3 things are where you can start, and then the next level, you are a technician, a CSR, a dispatcher, inside sales, and those are basically the 4 options that you can be. Then the next layer is, well, you're going to be a senior tech, you're going to be sales, you're going to be a supervisor, and then you're a frontline manager. And there's 2. Are you a senior frontline manager, or inside frontline manager, or outside frontline manager? And then finally director. So it's like, it starts at 3, goes to 4, goes to 3, goes to 2, goes to 1.
Yep.
And it sort of shows where you can move, but it's designed in a way that like you can imagine your horizontal movement too, because it's just right there. It's like, okay, well, if I'm a senior tech, then here's the other option. I can move to sales.
Yep.
And that's a horizontal movement for me, which is great. I could potentially move to inside super, which like we've never had anyone try that, but like that is in the same tranche of seniority.
Yeah. I think that's something we're going to be focused on. I remember picking your brain on this.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture once it's done. Like we had to map it out in our heads so clearly that we could wrap a wall with it, because what we want to be able to do, we're really intentional about our interview process and like walking people through the building. We want to be able to stop at this wall and talk about it for a minute or two, like, hey, and it's called here's where you can grow. So like, here's where you can grow with Wilson. This is the position you're applying for. Like, let's check out, like, ooh, yeah, check that out. And then ideally we put in like potential earning with each position.
Because that's the important part, is they want to see what they can make too, right?
But we want people to know that they can just like, hey, this can be the end of your career. Like, this can be it. There's a lot of different seats here. We have 25 titles. You can just land here.
Yeah. I think that's a gap we have is Because like we're a growth organization, you're a growth organization. Like we're both, me and you've had this conversation where we're like really in stride, step for step. Is like,
well, you're beating me, but yeah.
No. Is how can we? I guess what I'm thinking about right now is how can we're gonna retitle everything. Is like right now we have everyone just listed as manager, and we don't have like a great strategy around titling, but we haven't needed it until this point. But I think we're starting to kind of reach our capacity with that.
Yeah.
One thing we've been focused on is cascading messaging.
Yeah.
And so like, how can we, I mean, you had this conversation as we were walking in with EOS and scaling up is, you know, we self-implemented EOS, which I would encourage everyone to hire a facilitator. They range in all different costs, at least for your first year. Like, don't self-implement. We did it. Learn from my challenges. But now after 5-6 years, we've gone to scaling up. Because one of the challenges we're trying to overcome is like, all right, what's the company mission? What are the different locations mission to help support the company mission? And then how's that cascade all the way down to the frontline team member on how they can feel they're contributing towards the company mission? So that's been a huge focus of ours. And then really we've redone all of our bank partners, and a lot of our professional services has been kind of a focus, and maybe for a different day as well. Conversation for a different day.
We're like beginning that journey, and it's annoying.
It is. Yeah. The bank one, I looked at, like, I started conversations a year ago, and we're just now kind of coming to, it
feels like, we've started opening the conversation, and like, they're trying to like rush it along. And I'm like, I don't think we can. Like, we're talking about like $5 million of like debt. We're talking about like treasury. Like we can't. Yeah, you can't.
They're just trying to lock you in as fast as possible. They don't want you to shop it. Good salespeople.
I
was telling my daughter
Good urgency.
I was telling my daughter this when we were driving here is with especially on the bank side, everyone has like a VP of a VP title of some sort. And I'm like, Mac, at the end of the day I said, they're customer relations people at the end of the day. Like, don't get hung up on the title side.
Yeah, that's funny. So, this was awesome, man. So I'm going to repeat the big wins on $4 million a month, because that's crazy. That's amazing. So,
appreciate that.
$1 million, like stable revenue. Somewhere there's stable revenue. So in this case, it's plumbing.
Yep.
Strong membership base, really making sure we're retaining our team. And that's like tactically, what's their schedule look like? And strategically, what do their careers look like? Yeah. And then just being really thoughtful about like adding additional days and increasing capacity when grass is growing. Yeah.
And I think that's 100% it. The last thing that comes to mind is we used to do this. I just want to throw this out there is like, it's hot right now. We know it's hot. We've seen it's going to be hot forever. And back in 2015, when I was a service manager, I'd say like, hey, it's Friday. Any chance you can work tomorrow? Is not being like so by the hip, make sure that you're having that conversation on the front end of the week, or even before the month begins. Like June's always hot and busy. Yeah. It's like, just have your team prepared. Don't just ask them on Friday to work tomorrow. Yeah,
that's a good call. We got in the habit of doing it like every Tuesday we send out messages, but you're right. Like, we should have done it in May for June.
Yeah.
So we're behind the ball.
All good.
This was awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
If people want to get a hold of you and like bother you and ask you questions and stuff, how can they do that?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Twitter, man. So I've been trying to be more active on
Welcome
X.
to the club.
Yeah, it's an awesome community.
It's a good community. I love it. Yeah, it's good. It's robust.
Yeah, and I feel like you're getting raw information there. Like, it's not filtered through.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, you can find me on X. I don't know my handle or name at the moment.
We'll link it.
Appreciate that, man.
Cool. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and sub, and check out ownedandoperated.com for more. Thanks.